If you would like to talk about the ugly side of fashion, please stay tuned and it's coming right up. Hello my beauties and welcome to another episode here on my Karmatika Designs YouTube channel. I am so glad you joined today because things are about to get very serious. In today's conversation, we will be talking all about fast fashion brands and how fast fashion brands are really destroying our world. If this is your first time here in the channel, I welcome you dearly and I really hope that you can take with you something of value of this video. If you are a fashion enthusiast like myself, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and like this video and share with your friends so we can stay connected, learn from each other, and make this world a better place. When it comes to fashion, there are some good news, some not so good news. Fashion, as glamorous and beautiful as it may seem, it has an ugly side. And I want to tell you all about it because it is time for us to awaken and to be conscious about what fashion really is and what it really means. And not just treat clothing as a replaceable object that comes and goes and that you could easily get because you can. Fashion is one of the most important things. It seems like it's one of those things that humans just basically need in order to survive. Fashion is more than just going out to the mall and shopping for clothes. Fashion is what reflects your style. Fashion is basically what helps people know who you are before you speak, how you think, what you believe, what you are about. Fashion really is more important than what most people can even realize. And one of the problems with fashion is that people really don't give it the importance that it deserves. Basically, people treat fashion as a temporary thing or as something that will pass with the seasons. And the problem with this is that it not only gets expensive on your pocket, it also becomes expensive at an environmental and social level. And if you really think about it, look at your closet. Just to start with that, look at your closet. How many of those clothes do you actually wear? Is it most of them? Is it all of them? Is it maybe 5 or 10% of that wardrobe? That itself tells us a lot about the over-consumerism that there is in the United States. Fast fashion has really adopted the name fast fashion because of how fast the seasons get produced instead of having a spring, summer, and a fall, winter. So instead of that, fast fashion has about 52 seasons per year. Well, that is a lot of clothing that is going out, produced in massive quantities. And the problem with this really is that we are the ones buying these clothes, that they look trendy, maybe they are in one day and then out the next day. That's basically how fast fashion works, really. The other reason why fast fashion could be called fast fashion is also because of how fast and the massive production, as I was just saying, how fast that production goes. You see, as a designer, I realized that in order to design just a collection, it takes months to put all the ideas from a sketch all the way to the runway. That is a big, large, tedious, long process, and that's what many people just don't understand. It's so tempting to just go and buy whatever you can because you can, because they make it so affordable. But the thing is here that if your shirt costs less than your cup of coffee, that means that somewhere, somehow, somebody is paying for that shirt. Fast fashion also hurts the economy because it is ending up with independent fashion brands like myself. So here are some facts. As much as 33 pounds of textile waste in Europe per person every year. Whew, that is insane. The overproduction of the apparel industry is due to the overconsumerism of the average American, who on average wastes about 83 pounds of textile waste annually. This is not in Europe. This is here in the US. How nasty. Can you imagine 83 pounds per person per year? That is insane. It's like in the US, shopping as a sport. It really is not a sport, guys. Fashion should be done mindfully. Fashion should be done with an intention, with an awareness of who you are. Not just buying stuff that is just, I just bought it because it's cheap. It cost me $1. It cost me $5. Come on, guys. This is serious. Our earth and our people in third world countries are depending on this, including independent designers like myself. This is a serious issue because trends pass and fads do too, but the only thing that stays is who you really are. What is the message that you want to communicate? How do you want to look? Do you want to look cheap or do you want to look expensive? Another sad fact about the fashion industry is that the statistics say that it is the second most polluting industry in the world, and this is due to gas emissions of transportation, shipping. Also, the fashion industry is one of the largest consumers of water. All the toxic dyes that go into the water in third world countries, and also responsible of insecticides and pesticides. This is without counting all the toxic gases that textile waste piles in landfills cause. Another fact, this is a little bit of older news, but back in 2013 there was a major collapse from a sweatshop production building. I'm talking about the Rana Plaza in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Thousands of people were injured in that event, and this was due to the poor conditions that the building was in and the poor conditions that the workers were working in. In general, we all have to be more conscious and aware of the problem. It is about being more mindful and more considerate about what these companies are turning our world into. And we are responsible, because as long as we keep consuming fast fashion brands, and this is like everywhere really, I strongly recommend that you watch. There's a documentary called The True Cost. The True Cost. It will blow your mind. It was one of the first videos related to fast fashion that I saw, and honestly, it's a very heartbreaking documentary. Alright, and moving on to some better news. Things are really changing for the better. At least I'd like to think that. Because, believe it or not, last year during the pandemic, since a lot of businesses were closed, there was no mall to really drive out to because everything was closed. So I feel like thanks to the pandemic last year, a lot of people sort of started shifting a little bit in their thinking too, where they began to shop less and more falling into the realization that we really don't need that many clothes. The pandemic really taught us many things. Among them, the realization that it is better to have a small wardrobe with pieces that we absolutely love than one full of nothing to wear. And many people, like myself, were inspired more than ever to recycle or reuse, repurpose clothing in one or many ways. And some, even with having so much free time in their hands, some even learn how to sew, which is again a survival skill. You've been wanting to learn how to sew? Please go and watch my video of how to thread a machine. It will get your feet in the water and will get you started in your journey of sewing. It just means that you will learn to use a sewing machine in order to love and care and repair the clothes that you already have. Like I was saying, the apparel market decreased last year due to the pandemic because it urged for less demand, which brings good news for our planet basically. And I feel like millennials and Gen Z, if you notice on my Instagram posts, I tend to use the hashtag millennials and hashtag Gen Z and hashtag people who care, because really we are the people who care about this environment, because we are the ones living through this and seeing all the unfortunate changes in our earth, and we hate to see it this way. Honestly, I feel like people from these generations are a lot more conscious about what they're buying and what's in their clothes and their food. They're just a little bit more aware and awake in that sense. We basically prefer to buy more consciously and sustainably altogether. Those are some of the facts that I have for you, and I really have the best hopes for our earth, and all the difference will be in how we are going to approach the problem that we are currently facing with the fashion industry. Another thing that I felt the need of talking about was the solutions that we can do in regards to the fast fashion problem that we have. Basically, I would say that we need to apply the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Repurpose, very, very important. I think this can make all the difference. And don't be fooled by the idea that whenever you get rid of your clothes, if you donate them, your problem is solved and that you are doing good for the earth, because chances are that most of those clothes that you just donated might actually end up in the landfill. I know this is an ugly truth that it's hard to understand and realize. Moving on to some better news. One of the things that I love about creating this channel is that I will provide you with lots of good ideas to do with your old clothes, how to reuse them, how to repurpose them, how to turn them into something creative or brand new per se. I think that just keeps things exciting and does good things for ourselves and for the earth. It will not end up in a landfill, and it will serve us, while we may also be able to give that old piece of clothing a second chance in life. So stay tuned, because I have lots of good things coming your way and lots of good ideas for you and to better our earth, basically. Alright guys, so in a nutshell, I have explained to you the good, the bad, and the ugly about the fashion industry. I really hope you have learned and enjoyed this video. I know it is honestly such a devastating situation, but it is not hopeless. I think we are the solution. We can make this world a so much better place, and I really truly believe in that. And if you follow my Instagram page, you will see a lot more awareness coming regarding the subject. We cannot stay quiet, we cannot stay ignorant to the situation. It affects all of us. If you think it is not affecting you, well, you are wrong, because you are part of this world. You're gonna keep wearing and buying new clothes regardless, and I invite you to simply buy more mindfully. I believe we can make a difference. I believe that if you are watching this video, is because you care about the environment, you care about our society, you care about our economy, and you believe that we can make a change. If you think otherwise, well, either let me know what you think and we can talk about it, or simply you can decide to live in ignorance and pretend like nothing is happening. And so the problem will continue. There's no way to fully get rid of fast fashion altogether, but we can start to make a change with what we wear, how we pick our clothes, what are the things that we look for, and things like that, really. Alright my lovelies, this has been it for this video. I really hope that you have taken something of value with you. As a reminder, if you have found this video of value and you have found it educational as well, please don't hesitate to like this video, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. I am here for you guys, so let's connect. And just remember, we might not be able to ever eliminate fast fashion altogether. It is almost inevitable to avoid it, and we as consumers hold the responsibility of what will we do with our shopping habits, basically. Of course, always buying handmade or sustainable or ethical is always the best choice, but whenever that is not available, just keep these things in mind of buying mindfully. So there you go. Don't fall in the trap. Let's make this world better, and I really hope you have enjoyed this video. I send lots of love and light your way, and until next time.